Hi all, welcome to my channel, welcome to my world, this is the World of Wayne. We're going to go back now to the fan home release of the ancient 80s retro classic build kit from Knight Rider. Now, quite a difficult issue this involves loads and loads of electrics, so I am going to take my time on each stage to show you exactly what I'm doing, because I know this does cause a lot of problems when we're doing these builds. Now, if you want to get this for yourself, I have put the link down here in the video description. You can get this all the way from pack 1, just so you know from when I've started. If you look here, I've actually just troweled this wire down the centre here, so they're all coming out the left-hand side of the vehicle over here. With that in mind now, without further ado, let's get cracking. So I'm just going to move the car just for a second so I can show you the magazine and what we're actually going to be doing. As you can see, let me just zoom up the top camera. We're going to be actually creating wires in this pack. As you see, we've got loads and loads of wires which we're going to be putting together. We're going to be connecting some of those wires up, plugging them into the board, and then we're just going to take our time to actually route these where they go around the chassis. As you can see, we've got them all coming out the side there. So by the end of it, looks like the spaghetti junction, but that's what it's going to be looking like. So unfortunately, all of these are actually labelled with letters, but they don't actually relate to the numbers which the instructions go to. So you do need to read through these. First ones we've got, if I just unplug this, is the motor wire here. Then we're going to be putting that into the other side of the cable that's labelled MOT. So we've got a female connector here and a male connector. Put them together. So now we've got one continued MOT cable. We're going to be doing the same with cable K. I'm not actually going to refer to what they're calling it because it will get confusing. So just take cable K. There should be two of those. One long one, one short one. And in a similar way to what we've just done, we're going to be putting the plug of cable K into the end of this one to extend this. So it's now a full cable, as you can see there. So let's bring the car over. And it's this circuit board I'm interested in here, and I'm interested in the MOT wire, the MOT wire. We're going to be plugging that into the circuit board which is labelled MOT, and that is located just at this end here. So get that one in, make sure it's around the right way, and just make sure it's pushed all the way in like that. In a similar one, the K cable is actually going to be going into the board where it says K, which is just here. So again, put that in, make sure that's in securely. Okay, I'm going to put this to one side. And this time we want to take the cable marked E. That's this one here. Don't be confused with E and M. I know they look different, but it can get confusing if that's on its side. There is an M and there is an E. It's the E one we want. We're just going to be connecting all of these cable E's together. So you can see we've got these bladed ends here. They're just going to go into the ends of this, which has got the two red lights at the back. And they just slot in like this. So that's one there and one on the other side. So that is cable E completed. And then we're going to do the same with cable W, which is this one here. And this green and red one just here, which has got a single light on it. And again, we're just going to link the male end to the female end. Simples. Bring the car back again. And it's cable W we want first. We're going to be putting that into the circuit board where this goes. And that's just down the bottom on this one here. If you're looking at it upside down, once again, remember that looks like an M, but it's not, it's a W. So it's going in just there. And then just like last time, we've got this 4-pin socket here. It can only really go in one place, but it is labelled E. That's just going to go in here like this. Perfect. Just for now, I'm just going to keep those wires there and move the car to one side. We now want the wires P. These are both labelled P. Once again, plug these together, just like that. And then the wires M, which we've got here, that look like E's, but they're not. And we're just going to put this bladed end into this plug here. Make sure that goes in all the way. As you can see, we've got a plug on one end here, and on the other end we've got two white lights. And for the last time, bring the car back over. I'm going to put cable P in first. That's just going into this socket just here. And then finally cable M, just going just behind the speaker here at the back. So the cables that are going to go out just to the left hand side here is the E cable, the P cable, the K cable and the W cable. Just looking like that. So I'm going to pinch these cables into place by putting a little tab, looking like that, into this section. And it's held in with a GM screw. The second little cable tie is just going into this one here. There you go, that's nice and tidy and all in control. Now at the end of the instructions it wants us to plug the M cable in, but as you see I've already done that. The only other thing to do, just take some of these sticky pads and I would just put them just over these to stop any pulling of these wires. But that is all there is to do in that stage. So that leads us to stage 44. Again, I'll just have a quick flick through the magazine so you can see what that looks like. And then once again, more electrics. We're going to be connecting all of these electrics up. Again, putting some tape over these. So by the end of it, a whole spaghetti mess as well, but it should look just like that with most of these cables now in. So the best way to do it is to basically just get all of these cables that are now labelled with different letters and we're going to plug them all into that control board. Once they're all plugged in, just move that so you can see that absolutely fine. I'm going to show you where they actually run so we can keep them tidy. So let me just lay this all out because it does get confusing. So we've got MOT, S, R, P, O, W, then L, K, J, I, H, G, and in the very corner V. Then we've got D, E, M, jumps to M then A, then F, and then we've got, just check what this one is, B, and then in this socket here, nothing, and then C. Hopefully that's helped out. So the way this works is anything that's on the left hand side of the speaker here is going to go to the left hand side, and anything on the right hand side is going to go to the right hand side. And that will keep that all nice and neat, just like this. So to that end, I am just going to keep this in place here. So it does look like I am making an attempt to keep this tidy. And I'll do the same on this side here. Just like that. But that is all there is to do in that stage. So in stage 45, again, I'll just flick through the magazine. We've actually got a, oh, what is this? This looks like a little control box. It's the watch. We're going to be creating the control watch here. I'm going to need some batteries for that, but this is what that looks like. And I'm guessing we get to try all the electrics out. So I have got stage 45 here. Let's get everything out here. And this is what the watch cover looks like. So we're going to take the front of this, and that's just going to clip into the front of the watch. You heard that click in, so So that sits perfectly like that. A couple of buttons to put in. They can only go in one way, but the one with the writing on is going on this side here. So there is a little notch at the top for these to seat perfectly. So they're in like that. Smaller buttons to go through the side. So one on this side. Can't believe we're making our own watch. One on this side. And just one down the bottom. Then before we put the control board in, ensure that all of these buttons are in their fully disengaged position, so this can then just drop in. I need to put a CO32 battery in there, so let me see if I've got one of those. I do have one of those, so just slot that underneath here, like that. And now we get to test all the buttons. So, bring over the car. So I'm going to be bringing over the scanner that we had from earlier, and I'm going to connect this, even though it says C on mine, it's meant to be A, into cable A. So that's in like that. I do want to check I've got batteries in this model, which I didn't have, but I have now. So I'm just putting those in. Turn it on. So when we start pressing these buttons on the side here, things should start happening. So it says if I press this button here, we should get an engine noise. That one works perfect. This button here controls the lights and sound. All the lights are working, so that's good. So the last button here is this one on the side, which is going to control the sound. Listen to this.
Tu entends la voix d'un ordinateur qu'on a désigné comme le KITT 2000, le kit si tu préfères.
We need to change that because that's in French. So you press this for 3 seconds. 1, 2, 3. Go up one by pressing up, and then that one there. That should have selected it. When I press it now,
I'm the voice of Night Industry 2000's microprocessor, KITT for easy reference.
as you can hear.
If you prefer.
That's absolutely brilliant. I love it. So we've got a successful test with all these electrics. There is one problem that I've done, and in the process of doing that, I broke the screen. Everything works, I just broke the screen here. And I did that while I was installing it, which is typical, so I'm going to have to get another screen there. But other than that, as you see, everything works absolutely fine. I do like, you can turn the lights off, on. And obviously the thing everyone likes is the scanner. So we're good. So that leads us to the last stage, stage 46. I'm glad everything was working there. And basically it's just the strap for the watch, and we're just going to be assembling the watch completely together. We did have some screws in the last pack, which we're going to need as well, FP screws. We would have thought we'd have to create our own our own watch, but that's exactly what we're doing. So we're going to put the strap just on that side there. In this here, we're going to have the little tiny catch that's going to be used to buckle it, because obviously you want to be wearing this. So this goes on this way here, and then we've got a pin that's going to go through that, out the outside, and then we're rounding that off with this side of the catch here. Just like that. Obviously you want to make sure that this catch is on top, like that there. Bring over the back of the watch like we had there. Just make sure that's seated perfect. It is. Make sure the buttons are working. They are. Excellent. And the strap is going to go on this side here. The other side on this side here. And then we're just going to be putting the back on, which goes in like this here. Holding all that to place. Matter of fact, we had FP screws in the last pack, but they gave us some silver ones in this pack. So I am going to use my really, really tiny screwdriver to get these in. Perfect. I do like that emblem at the back there. I think that's pretty clever, but that's all there is to do in that stage. So you know what? For me, getting the electrics right first time is just blown me away. That's crazy. I did obviously manage to break the screen of the watch. Not that I'm ever going to look at it, but you know, it is what it is. I will get another one ordered. If it doesn't come, then it doesn't make a difference. Everything still works anyway. But you know, I'm bound to cock something up, ain't I? That's just me. Anyway, if you want to get this for yourself, I have put the link in the video description. You can get this all the way from pack 1, but I really hope you like that video. If you did, please remember to give me a thumbs up. And if you haven't subscribed already, please remember to subscribe. Other than that, take care.